What's going on, guys? Stribbers here, and welcome to episode 16 of PGR2 Road to Platinum. So in the last episode we carried on with the Classic Series and we did 4 more races in that series, and we've got 2 more races to complete this series today, and we'll also do the first 2 races in the next series we do unlock. So starting off with the speed camera as the first race, choosing the Ferrari 275 as we've done for the entire series. 127 for hard, 136 miles an hour for gold, for platinum, sorry. And this is in Barcelona, this one. Only one corner on this event, and that leads straight onto the straight afterwards. So you have to ease off the accelerator round here and try not to power slide and get it as smooth as you can. Took me a few attempts this one, always getting 135, but on this last attempt when I was a bit smoother, managed to get 136 miles an hour. Definitely one of the more easy events in this group. 5,300 kudos, nice and quick that one, leading us into the final race. And this is a good race, this one. Obviously we're using the 275, but this is the first race that includes the Ferrari 250 GTO, which we race against, and it shows why it's the best car in this class. Obviously we can't use it right now. I have to complete the World Series on bronze to unlock it and use it. But we start off on a straight and we fly past the slower cars in this class, but then we have the 3 better cars here. So we've got the E-Type, which we just overtake. On the right we've got the 275, and there in red on the left is the 250 GTO. And we nearly spun the 275 out, and the GTO got instant revenge on us and tried to spin us out. But for the moment we are on the straight behind the 275. The 250 GTO is lagging behind, so I'm drafting him at the minute, and I decided not to overtake him on this corner because this was going to end up with one of us spinning out. So just staying behind him, trying to get an edge on him. But you've got to choose your times to overtake on this corner, and I didn't do that corner very well. Misjudged it a little bit, slowed me down, but as long as we're in the draft zone of the car, we're not going to lose him. Going on the inside there, outbraking him, and just about getting in front of that 275. It is a little bit twitchy, this car, under braking. And you have to change direction sometimes because it decides to do it on its own. Like then. I thought he was going to spin me, so I tried to get out of the way of that, and ended up hitting the wall, and he didn't come near me in the end, but he's overtaken us again. 250 GTO is right behind us, getting a good draft on there, and just about getting ahead of him before this long sweeping right hand corner. Taking that nicely, and the 275 actually crashed there or something, so the 250 GTO is now right behind me. And this is when this car will start to push me. So he's over half a second behind at the moment. We're on lap 3, but not taking that corner very well. Very wide, sliding, losing a lot of speed. So he is catching up, and this bit's always hard to get right, because if you go too close to the apex as I did there, you go on 2 wheels, and obviously that stops you turning, which slows you down, which I've mentioned before. And that 250 GTO is right behind us. He's getting in the draft now. You can see he's catching us up. We're still ahead though, and this was a pretty bad corner there. That was a corner I mentioned that you have to try and be as smooth as possible, but I power slided round there, which slowed me down quite a lot. And I nearly did the same thing there as the last lap, crashing into the barrier, turning in too soon. But this 250 GTO is still right behind us on lap 4 now. Quite a long race this one, to be honest, 5 laps of this track. Going a little bit wide on that one again, hitting the barrier. Need to try and take those tighter, those corners. Still right behind us, and this one again. The automatic gearbox screws it up a little bit on that section, because it changes down to, I think it's first, and changes straight back up to second. But we're still just about ahead. Half a second again. Taking that corner a little bit slow. I think I did the first lap the best on that corner, and the computers take that corner really well. and on this bit you can fly through, just let off the throttle slightly, you can't go full speed. And again on that corner, that's my nemesis, tapping the inside, and here he comes on the inside of us. Look at that speed he carries through there. And I was trying to outbrake him, but he was doing the same thing, so we're just trying to get him on the outside, neck and neck now, coming into this corner. Just about bullied him out of the way, sliding a little bit coming out of that corner, but we're still ahead. Competitive race, this one. I prefer them like this, to be honest. It's a nice challenge as opposed to just getting ahead in the first lap and then staying ahead and increasing your lead. I like it when the computers take the corners really well and they press you. Like, they can take that corner so well. The Ferrari 250 GTO does not power slide anywhere near as much as this 275. It's a lot easier to control, and in the hands of the computer they can control it well. But that was a close race. We'll take a look at the time, see how far he was behind, but it was less than a car length, I believe. 2,400 kudos for that. Yeah, 0.2 of a second behind. So not a comfortable win, but we managed to defend our position, and we've unlocked a new series. Sports Coupe series, and we're getting quite a few series complete now. I think that was 7 I just looked at there. So we'll be doing the timed run and the overtake in this series, and we'll be starting with the timed run, and we'll take a look at the cars. So one of the first ones we have to start off with is the Lexus SC430. Looking at its stats, it's not a bad looking car compared to some of the other starter cars in different classes, but in this series, yeah, it is the worst one. And this Cadillac's XLR is a little bit better, but not much better at all. So these two cars are the worst in the class. But again, that's not bad stats on that car. Really isn't. And the Jaguar XKR is the next best one, I'd say. It's got the same stats as the XLR, the Cadillac, but this is a better car. It is a better car to drive. The stats sometimes lie, and you know, they don't give the true story sometimes. And then we leap straight up to the RS6, the Audi. Brilliant acceleration, decent top speed, pretty bad handling, to be honest. It's four-wheel drive and it's an estate, obviously, so it handles a little bit like a boat. Porsche Carrera is a step up again from that Audi. Not quite as good acceleration, but decent top speed, and it's very planted, this car. Doesn't slide around at all, and it's got decent handling, so it's a very good medium. Track for a medium. It's a very good car for a medium-sized track, that one. Morgan Aero 8. This is a very quick car. In the top 3 of this class, good top speed, but it just power slides far too much. It's very hard to control, this car. And when you compare it to this one, the Trident Iceni, I think that's how you pronounce it. This lies as well on acceleration. It's got less acceleration than the Morgan, but this actually accelerates quicker than the Morgan. And it's got decent top speed. Handling's not too bad, so I'd put that at the second best car in this class, just behind this TVR Tamora. This is quite a little bit better than all the others. It's got decent handling, a little bit on power sliding, but it does feel planted to drive, decent acceleration, and also better top speed than that says there. So sometimes you've got to drive the cars. The stats don't tell the story sometimes, but yeah, TVR Tamora, then that Trident Iceni, and the Morgan are the best 3 cars in the class. And the Morgan's just too hard to control for me, compared to this TVR anyway. You just never use it. So we are in a timed run, 3 laps of this track. What was the target? I think it was 2 minutes 30, was it? 2 minutes 30 to beat. So we are going to see how we do then. So we're halfway through lap 1 now. Now this is the critical section where you can fly through this section of corners and keep it nice and tidy. Try and get as close to the inside as there as possible without power sliding, which this car sometimes does do. But we come across the first lap, we get a 50 pretty much bang on, 50 seconds. Into the second lap, down this nice straight. Braking harshly for this first corner, keeping it nice on the inside and using the width, coming out, and then into another straight. So there's half the track is a straight and then basically into another straight, and it gets to this more twisty section here where you've just got to basically keep control of the car and not let it slide out. See, it does like to slide through here, but you can keep it on the accelerator, maybe feather the throttle a little bit, and then keep it close to that inside of the apex on the way out there, so you don't go the long way around, don't take too much time to go round. 49.3, that was a massive improvement on the first lap, 0.6 of a second better, and we're going into the last lap now, so hopefully with the third lap that's similar we should be alright. But that was a corner that ruined the lap a little bit, just touched the inside of the barrier, but it does slow you down quite a bit and will affect the time. Again, using the width of the track nicely there, and then coming back, round to this last section / chicane section, where the car does bounce around a little bit because of the different levels of the track, and that time I did push it a little bit too hard, but we didn't collide with the wall properly, and keeping it nicely on the inside there, that's what I was aiming to do on the other laps. So you use you go the least distance possible around that corner, and that was a 50.1, so it was actually our slowest lap, and I'm guessing that was down to that first corner. But I hit the wall a couple times, but I didn't collide with it properly to ruin the kudos, so we still got the clean race. Pretty much 6,000 kudos. So we're climbing up that ladder still, rank 33. Not ranked up yet though in this episode. At least I don't think we did. Cool selection of colours with the TVR, as there as there always is. Can't even speak. Yeah, nice selection of colours. I can't remember what they call these colours. It's either iridescent or pearlescent or something like that. Contrast of two colours. This one's like orangey pink. But anyway, we're in Overtake now. 5 cars, 2 minutes 25, I think it was, or 30. Fly past that Toyota GT 3000 or 3000 GT. So that's the first car down already. 5 cars in an overtake is not much at all. But this car is it's nice to drive. It's one of the quickest we've driven so far, and the best to control. Taking that corner very nicely there, and around that Porsche Spider. 2 cars now, 1 minute 50 left. And as I say, this car is pretty nice to drive. Combination of types of cars are overtaking as well. There was the classics, I believe, and then there was, or is it just the classics? Was the Toyota GT 3000 GT a classic? I think it was. So 3 cars now, 1 minute 20. Closing in on these last 2 cars. It's not too bad a track, this one. It's a little bit windy, but with this car you should be doing alright. And this one you can nearly go full speed through there. Overtaking the Lancia Stratos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all classics actually, thinking about it. It usually is the class before that you overtake. And that is that the Porsche 911? And this was the easiest overtake I've done so far by miles. I think just over 50 seconds I had left there, so I've just skipped it on to the end, guys. You can see on the mini-map how far ahead we actually are. Massively far ahead. Easiest platinum medal I've done. But I'm not complaining with that. 7,000 kudos, and we eventually do rank up. Rank 34, 17 more tokens. And that is going to do it for this episode, guys. So in the next episode, we're going to be looking at the street race, the one-on-one, the overtake, and another street race. And there's quite a few more races in this series, as you can see. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.